Hello, it is I. Now the Forza Horizon franchise is massive in the racing game community. Go up to a non-car guy and ask them to name a racing game and they'd probably end up saying Forza. But if you ask an OG racing game fan what they think of Forza, they'd probably say something like, it's alright, but it doesn't hit the same as it used to. So why is this? Are we nostalgia merchants? Do we have high standards, or was Forza genuinely better back in the day? Well, that is what I'll be going through in this video, as here are 8 reasons why new Forza Horizon games just don't hit the same. Now you already know the drill, let's try and hit 4,000 likes on this video, come on. Remember that the more likes we get, the more likely that the devs would actually watch this video, and who knows, maybe we'll see a few changes here and there as well. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Smashed, sun comes out, splash.
Okay, now I know what you lot are all thinking. The location choice. Mate, Mexico is an incredible location, and yes, it is very diverse and very beautiful, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, think about it. Horizon 1, you roam the scenic roads of Colorado in your powerful muscle car. Horizon 2, you can take in the stunning views of southern France and northern Italy in your beautiful supercar. Horizon 3, you explore the vast outback in your Aussie V8 Ute. Then Horizon 4 was set in Britain, and Horizon 5 is set in Mexico, where there's not much of a car culture. So why did they go from these incredible car guy locations to these random touristy... Yeah. Most video games are all about moolah nowadays. Hence producers try and make as much money from them as possible, even if it means turning a video game into a tourism advert. In fact, I heard that for the development of Forza Horizon 5, Playground Games worked with a Mexican tourism agency to capture the best parts of Mexico to include into the game, which explains why old Forza Horizon menu screens focused on the cars, whereas Forza Horizon 5 focuses on the map, which is very sad to see. Honestly, Forza Horizon games nowadays feel like an advert towards the country that it's set in. Like, come on now, I don't want to be playing a tourism advert, mate.
Hello, mate. You wanna levitate? Come see the man with the plan.
Now, one of the main reasons why Forza Horizon games are losing their magic is due to the interval between each game. I mean, let's take Forza Horizon 3 as an example. That game came out in late September of 2016. 3 months later, the first expansion came out. 5 months after the first expansion came the second expansion. Then 5 months after the second expansion, we got Forza Motorsport 7. So we got all the content fairly quickly, and the sequel came pretty quick too, which is fantastic. However, in Forza Horizon 5, the first expansion came 8 months after the release of the game. Whereas in Horizon 3, we'd expect to see the second DLC by then. That's mad, you know. Forza fans had to go from having to enjoy the base game for 3 months to 8 months, which is a huge change. Now this isn't a problem to casual players, as they are, well, casual players. But for Forza fans and content creators, we're always waiting for the sequel or the next step. Honestly, come to think of it, it kind of feels like the developers are forgetting the audience of the game.
Baby, if you'd like to spend the night, it's alright, but you gotta check out.
Now, something we've all noticed is how the developers have completely forgotten who the target audience of the game is meant to be. Back in the good old days, Forza was a racing game for car guys to build a dream car and live out their fantasies. Whereas nowadays, it feels like a racing game that's made for Fortnite kids. They've even added emotes and a battle royale game mode. This game is practically Fortnite but with cars, eh? What's going on? Not just that, but the DLCs are getting more and more childish too. I mean, we went from driving the craziest Fast and Furious cars in southern France to driving Lego cars in fucking Legoland. Yeah, they've lost the plot. So I hope that Forza could steer away from trying to attract casual players and focus on car guys that actually care about the game. Because nowadays, honestly, I'm kind of embarrassed to call myself a Forza fan.
In the morning, I ain't gonna be there snoring. I'm a slow and I'll keep on
And one of the biggest video game red flags is when the developers spend more time updating the graphics over adding features that the players actually want. I mean, take a look at Test Drive Unlimited 2. One of the worst looking games graphics wise, but it was packed with so many incredible features that have made the game actually enjoyable to play. Whereas Drive Club is one of the best looking racing games ever made, but most people don't really care about that game as there's not much content. So Forza, if you guys are watching, then hello, my name is Yuwan, nice to meet you, I do videos on YouTube. And also, please stop prioritizing graphics and work on in-game features, the game looks incredible as it is, come on.
Push girls, but they don't move boring. Drive girls, no cool, like they cool.
And the first Forza Horizon game was essentially a Forza Motorsport game where you can actually free roam. Sure, there were arcade touches here and there, but for the most part, it was semi-realistic. But a whole decade later, the Forza Horizon franchise seems to be in a completely different league of arcadeness compared to the older games. I mean, in Forza Horizon 3, you saw Hot Wheels. Yes, it was a very fun and enjoyable DLC, but it's completely detached from the festival theme of Forza Horizon games. Then in Forza Horizon 4, Yeah, this really pisses me off thinking about it. At Forza Horizon 5, we're back to the Hot Wheels expansion. Sure, the game is still somewhat enjoyable with its arcade focus, but it's so sad going from driving your dream cars in scenic locations to driving stupid plastic cars in a fictional fantasy Legoland.
I don't care myself, I'm Chavi. I beat blue tick girls and I
Okay, now quite a big problem with the new games for the OG Forza players is just how PG the franchise is becoming. The cutscenes in the older Forza Horizon titles featured characters with varying personalities. Some characters supported you throughout the game, whereas others belittled you and made you feel some sort of way. However, nowadays you get characters like Jay. I mean, I'm sure Jay's a cool guy in now, but why does he talk like he's in Peppa Pig?
Look, I'm sorry, alright? Sorry I called you bored rich. That was me.
Shut up, man.
We need characters who make you want to throw a controller at your monitor. Not overly friendly characters like Ramiro, Haley, and of course Jay. Like, go back to Peppa Pig, man. But do you know what's friendlier than Jay? The progression. Come on, let's go to the next point.
Scotty, day and night, you can roll with a boy and you play it right.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not even sure if the developers know what the definition of progression is. It's completely been thrown out the window. You start the game at the very top, you get expensive supercars for free, the wheel spins are so easy to get, it's so much funnier to come out. Where is the progression for it? Oh my god, it annoys me. We don't want everything handed to us for free, because in that case, what's the point in even playing the game? There's no reward. I complained about progression so much in my videos already, so Playground Games, please focus on progression in your next game. We don't want to see high-powered cars handed to us at the start of the game.
Forget RB, call me the governor, the gaffer, the big boss buster.
Now, one thing that I really think needs to change are the developers' priorities. There are so many features the community wants to see in the game, but the developers are like, nope. And then they proceed to spend their whole time trying to make their graphics look better, which is, okay, yeah, the game does look pretty spectacular. But there's so much more to the game than just pretty graphics. You can't magically make a game more enjoyable by updating the graphics. And what really annoys me is the fact that they're not just focusing on the graphics, but they're dumbing down features that we like to spend more time on what they want to do. We used to see incredible cutscenes way back in 2012, but now cutscenes aren't even a thing. Horizon 4 we saw a whopping 12 houses, but in Forza Horizon 5 we see 7. From Horizon 1 to Horizon 3 we got a new engine for each game, but Horizon 3 onwards is literally the same engine being recycled, which makes the game feel identical to the predecessors. Yet casual players don't notice this stuff as they don't really care about Forza. So the real question is, who is to blame for all of this?
I like a star, you got an attitude. Would be great, let me fill you with.
I'm sure it's easy to point the blame towards Playground Games, but honestly, I don't think it's their fault. I mean, they made incredible Horizon games like Horizon 1, 2 and 3, which are very well appreciated in the community. But it's ever since 2018 with the release of Forza Horizon 4 that things seem to go south, which happens to be the exact same time that Microsoft acquired Playground Games. Yep, that means back when Horizon games were actually good, Playground Games were independent developers. So I'm not blaming Playground Games because, as we've seen in the past, they've created some incredible games. I believe the main problem is Microsoft restricting the creativity of the developers and turning Forza into one of those games that demonstrates the graphical capabilities of Xbox consoles, which explains why they're making Playground Games prioritize things like graphics, arcade game modes, and adding fucking Fortnite emotes to attract a bigger fan base towards the game, which is also going to be more cringe as well because more babies are going to start playing the. Oh my god, it's going to be so annoying. Now sure, video games do need things like this to keep the franchise going because without money these games won't exist, but come on Microsoft, don't forget to satisfy the fan base who helped to make Forza popular in the first place, because without this fan base this game wouldn't even exist. Well, hello there, did you enjoy this new video? Didn't ask ratio. Well, if you did, then you might like this video up here. I'm such a weird person. Also, if you want to subscribe to my channel, there's a button down below here. There's a gadget on my channel where you can subscribe. Happy days, your mum is. Anyways, have a good one guys. Cheers.